There are no winners in Libya's drawn-out conflict. Warlord Khalifa Haftar may be retreating, but what he's left behind is not a scene to celebrate.
In cooperation with the military command, our teams have started to search for bodies this morning.
Libya's UN-backed Government of National Accord says the remains of hundreds of partially decomposed bodies have been found in hospitals and mass graves south of Tripoli. Haftar had been using the town of Tarhuna to launch his 14-month siege on the capital. Government forces regained control of the region last week, but to locals, it doesn't feel like a victory.
North Korea announced on Friday that it will develop more reliable military forces to counter U.S. military threats. In a statement marking the second anniversary of the Singapore summit, the first ever summit between the leaders of the U.S. and North Korea, the region's foreign minister Lee Sun-kwon said that over the last 2 years, the U.S. has only made their relationship worse. And he warned that the North would never again provide another package for President Trump to boast as his accomplishment. Lee laid out the measures that Pyongyang had taken after the Singapore summit, such as demolishing its nuclear test site at Punggye-ri and halting nuclear tests and the launching of long-range missiles, calling it the decision of the century. He then said that the U.S. has only escalated tensions on the Korean peninsula by stationing weapons such as aircraft carriers around the area.
Activists from a local peace organization dug 100 symbolic graves on Copacabana's beach in Rio de Janeiro, turning Brazil's most iconic tourist spot into a mock cemetery to memorialize the country's more than 40,000 people who've died of COVID-19. It was a symbolic memorial, but also a dramatic protest against President Jair Bolsonaro's dismissive response to the pandemic. But while many locals seemed to appreciate it, the memorial was also a focal point for the deep divisions among Brazilians. A maskless supporter of President Bolsonaro started knocking down the crosses, while others applauded. Then another resident intervened to put the crosses back up as an argument ensued.
This leads our bulletin. Yet another young woman has been murdered in Johannesburg. Protesters in Dobsonville found her body under a tree earlier today. Now, the discovery comes after 28-year-old Sekofatso Pule was laid to rest yesterday after she was stabbed and hanged in Roodepoort Veld on Monday.
Well, Shahan, certainly yet another gruesome find here in Soweto. And of course, let me just ask my colleague Khunza Monyela to show you the scene, Shahan, where the body was found this morning, of course discovered by protesters who had been protesting. They are also here not far from me, Shahan. They made the grisly discovery at about 7 a.m. this morning, and police saying that at this particular point, the identity of the woman is still unknown. They are still trying to piece together what really happened.
We don't believe that extending the transition period is the right thing to do. Today, in the joint committee which supervises relations between the UK and the EU during this period, I made clear to Manos Šefčovič, the Vice President of the European Commission, we would not be extending. That's it. We are leaving the transition period on December the 31st. That provides clarity and certainty to business, and our announcement today allows business to plan in an appropriate and flexible way for our departure from the European Union as we take back control. As a sovereign country, having taken back control, we make decisions in the interests of the British economy and British citizens.
Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, has been rocked by yet another deadly attack. 4 people have been killed, including the imam, while many others have been injured in a blast inside a Kabul mosque during Friday prayers. No group has immediately claimed responsibility for this deadly attack on the Sher Shah Suri mosque. These are visuals from inside the mosque that was attacked. This is the second attack on a place of worship in the last 10 days. Local chapter of the Islamic State had attacked the mosque on the 2nd of June, but no one so far has claimed responsibility for today's attack in this Kabul mosque. The imam who has been killed has been identified as Azizullah Mufleh. He was a prominent pro-government religious cleric. An angry mosque attendee said that they are being killed by Christians and their people will avenge the death.
Washington plans to withdraw troops from South Korea and other ally nations. In a recent interview, former U.S. Ambassador to Germany Richard Grenell said there's a long-term plan to remove soldiers from countries including South Korea, Japan, and Iraq. The Trump administration has already begun talks to reduce its military presence in Iraq. However, Seoul's defense ministry responded that no discussions have taken place about possible troop withdrawal.
Indian Army has caused heavy damages to Pakistani posts all along the line of control. This came as the Indian Army retaliated to Pakistan's unprovoked ceasefire violations. Panic had gripped the region as Pakistani forces attacked defense posts and civilian areas, in which one civilian lost her life. This is the third ceasefire violation by Pakistan in a week.
A 40-year-old woman has been killed in Pakistan's ceasefire violation along the line of control in Uri town of Baramulla district. Now, since morning, there was a ceasefire violation by the Pakistan along the line of control in Baramulla district, and the army says that they are responding back to the ceasefire violation by the Pakistan. Now, several artillery shells have landed in the civilian areas, causing panic. There are reports that some households living close to the line of control